What's up, Internet? Corey Zamir here, and we're going to do a collection video. And as Roaming Dan requested, PlayStation 1. As you can see, I've cleared off that shelf. But first, I got to talk to you guys about a few things. I'm going to be on this show on Team Kill Fools. Link will be somewhere. Called TKF Gaming, Gabbing, and the Bottom Line. First episode I'm on already happened on last Saturday, but you can catch us live Saturday night at some time. It's not really like a set schedule. Like sometimes Rob Mitchell, the video game hoarder, is late because he's taking a poop or something. I don't know. Let's get into this video. And also be sure to let me know what collection video you'd like to see next. Guys, up first we have Armored Core Master of the Arena. Not actually a game I've had a chance to play. I love the Armored Core series back when I used to rent them. I really enjoyed Armored Core 2 on the PlayStation 2, but never really got into it all that much on the original PlayStation. Here's another game I rented one time and one time only, and that was enough for me. Beyond the Beyond. One of, I believe, the first RPGs and one of the worst RPGs on the original PlayStation. I actually remember getting stuck on some stupid puzzle very early on in the game and pretty much wasted that entire rental. Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain. Not a game I've actually put that much time into. I played maybe 5 minutes of it just to test it out, make sure it works. Really dark. Bloody Roar. I have not actually played this. I remember playing the demo, but I almost have a complete Bloody Roar collection. I actually just need Bloody Roar 2 and I'm good. Breath of Fire 3. I have not had a chance to play this. I believe I rented the fourth game back in the day and enjoyed it. Actually, I get this game mixed up with the fourth game, so it might have been this one. But it's an awesome series I'm looking to get more of. Bushido Blade 1 and 2. One of the most interesting fighting games on the PlayStation, and it's unfortunate that this did not really continue to be a thing. I know there was Kengo, which was similar on the PlayStation 2, but these kind of died off, these one-hit kill fighters with bladed weapons. Buster Bros Collection. I have not played a single second of this game. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is a game I wish I were better at. I wish I had invested more time into this as a kid. I've enjoyed watching quite a few Let's Plays of people who actually know how to play the game. But back in the day, I remember reading a review in, I believe, EGM, and I was absolutely enthralled with the idea of playing the game, and I didn't get very far, to say the least. Chrono Cross. Not a game I've actually had a chance to play. I hear it's kind of a sequel to Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Colony Wars. There was a time when I was absolutely obsessed with these games. I used to rent them quite often, and I kind of had this aspiring dream to be a fighter pilot when I grew up, but obviously that's not really a thing you could just be now. If you are a fighter pilot, things have kind of gone wrong in the world. Also, Colony Wars Vengeance and Colony Wars Red Sun. Devil Dice, not a game I've had a chance to play. Diablo, absolutely wonderful on the PC. Absolutely very hard to deal with on the PlayStation 1. Dino Crisis 2. Didn't play it. Dragon Valor. This is a game I do not know anything about. It's an RPG. I bought it while I was on an RPG buying kick on eBay. Let me know in the comments below if it's any good. Eggs of Steel. Traded this off of Ronnie at one of the Congo trade events. Have not had a chance to play it. Don't really even know what it's about, but it's an Atlas title. Eternal Eyes. I don't know. It's an RPG, I guess. Fatal Fury Wild Ambition. Please tell me the Fatal Fury series got better after the Super Nintendo age, because I didn't like the games that much on there, and I haven't had a chance to play that. Fighting Force. You would think with how wonderful beat-em-ups were in the 16-bit era that they would have continued being awesome in the 32-bit area and beyond. Fighting Force, I was not impressed with when I played it, and honestly, I think this kind of signified the end of the beat 'em up. Final Fantasy VII. Do I really need to say anything? I've played this game a ton of times. I've cried, I've laughed. It's just fucking wonderful. Final Fantasy VIII. This is a game I actually enjoyed much more once I grew up and learned to deal with the junction system. Final Fantasy IX, a wonderful return to the old school style of the Final Fantasy RPGs. I absolutely love this game, and I remember calling out of school multiple times to play it. Final Fantasy Origins. Honestly, I haven't put that much time into either of the games that are on this, but really cool to have. Almost have all the Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation. My second favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy Tactics. Well over 200, maybe 300 hours put into this game. Absolutely love it. I highly suggest it, even if you don't like strategy RPGs. It's kind of hard at first, but once you get the hang of it, you get addicted. Gex. I've only played the third game, which unfortunately I don't even have in my collection. Not sure how Gex was as a side-scroller. The Grand Stream Saga. This is one of those games that I had my mother purchase for me back when I wanted to own all the RPGs on the PlayStation, and it was a fucking terrible decision. Gran Turismo 1 and 2. I enjoyed these quite a bit back in the day. I can't really go back to them though. Gundam Battle Assault. I have not played this game, but Gundam Wing was awesome. Hashigami. This is a title that I have not played on the PlayStation. I did, however, play the remix that they came out with for the DS, and it's not that great. Jet Moto 2 and 3. Of course, for some reason, I do not have the best game in the series, Jet Moto 1. Klonoa. This is a game I found garage sailing and was absolutely ecstatic to find it. Unfortunately, I haven't had any time to put in on this game. I did play the demo quite a bit when I was younger. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Yeah, not that much of a fan. The Legend of Dragoon. Not an RPG I've had a chance to play. I remember playing the demo and not enjoying the battle system, but I didn't really give it that much of a shot. Lego Racers. The first Lego game I ever actually owned, and it was pretty cool. I did enjoy being able to customize my car. I don't remember if it actually mattered what you did. You could build a fucking wall in front of your guy as he drove, and it didn't actually matter. You can still see. Magic the Gathering Battle Mage. I actually do not know anything about this game. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. I haven't actually tried this. I had Marvel Superheroes, the fighting game, on PlayStation back in the day. I believe it probably handles pretty much just like that, if not just Street Fighter. I'm not too attached to it. It's kind of got a higher price tag right now, and if anybody were looking for it in a trade, Rob Mitchell especially, let me know and we can work something out. Metal Gear Solid. This is another one of those games just like Castlevania that I got back in the day and absolutely wished I had the ability as a younger gamer. Hell, I wish I had the ability now to get through these games. I actually remember using cheat codes and still not getting through it. Mortal Kombat 4. I did this as a Let's Play something. Really doesn't hold up as a fighting game. Even at the time, I think it was pretty poorly received. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Haven't had a chance to play it, but I do love the Mortal Kombat series. I wish Scorpion got his own game. Not really sure why Sub-Zero got such treatment. No One Can Stop Mr. Domino. I don't know anything about this game, but holy fuck is this Japanese as hell. Omega Boost. It's a mech in space. It's about all I know about it. I haven't actually had a chance to give it a try. I might have played the demo back in the day. Parasite Eve. I was not able to play any of the Resident Evil games when I was a kid just because I was a fucking pansy when it came to that while gaming. And I still kind of am nowadays. I'd rather watch them as a Let's Play, so I haven't really put any time into these two games. Parappa the Rapper. Now this is a rhythm game that I feel you have to be a little bit off rhythm to play. I've always had the problem with getting past the first stage, and then I tried it recently, and if I just pause myself for a second from trying to be exactly on where it should be, you actually hit it. So you have to be a little bit off to play this game, I think. Pocket Fighter. Another game in the Fighter's Edge series I haven't had a chance to play. Ridge Racer 4. Absolutely loved the advertisements, but never played the game. Resident Evil Director's Cut. This is a game I got early on in my time owning a PlayStation. I got to the point where the dogs jumped out the window and I wanted to jump out the window, so I stopped playing it. Rival Schools. This is a game that I absolutely loved when I rented it. Unfortunately, I believe this is the only game in my collection, at least on the PlayStation side, that is actually incomplete. I don't have the manual for this. Definitely looking for it if anybody has it for trade. RPG Maker. I think that any RPG fan's dream as a child would be to be able to make their own RPG, and this gave you the opportunity, but you really, really needed the know-how, which I didn't have. Saga Frontier. This came out in the midst of the Final Fantasy VII hype, and it really didn't live up to it. You could play as a lot of different characters, and it was a very interesting art style, but the gameplay just didn't hold up in my opinion. Sayuki The Journey West. I have not had a chance to play this, but it is a strategy RPG, and hopefully I will someday. Soul Blade. Did not get a chance to play this. Spider, the video game. What the fuck? I remember these advertisements, but I haven't played the game yet. Spider-Man 2, Enter Electro, another PlayStation game I have not had the chance to play. Star Wars Dark Forces. I tried to do a Let's Play something on this, and it suffers from what all old pre-twin stick shooter issues is what I would call it, where it just doesn't feel right when you go back to it. Star Wars The Phantom Menace. I remember trying to enjoy the fuck out of this game. I tried so hard, but it really is just garbage. I got it for Christmas one year, I believe, and I was still young enough to believe that Episode 1 was cool. Star Wars Masters of Teräs Käse. Star Wars characters in a fighting game. Half of them aren't real Star Wars characters. I think someone fucked up. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, I have not actually had the chance to play this. Suikoden 1, Suikoden, I always kind of switch up how I say it. I'm not really sure how to say it. I think Suikoden is I believe Suikoden is the right way, but I don't like saying it that way because I grew up calling it Suikoden. Either way, this is actually a, I guess, customized case. I took the manual and the back half of the double disc case and made my own single disc just because I think that this art is a whole lot better than the art that came with the game. Absolutely love this. I rented it and then eventually bought it as a kid, and I played through it with my friend Alan, who lived up the street. I remember I accidentally erased our save file, and it was just fun as fuck to just play through it again to catch up to where we were. Suikoden 2. This is a game highly sought after by many collectors. It's now around like 130, 150, somewhere in that range. I paid $0 for it because I got my mom to buy it for $40 back when I was a kid, and I've owned it ever since. Absolutely love it. Unfortunately, I haven't beat it. I got stuck on the Bone Dragon, which is a weird phrase to say, but it's true. If you don't level up Luke, you kind of get fucked. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Played this with my cousins, haven't really played it much on my own. It's a pretty cool game. Tekken's 1, 2, and 3. I've only really put time into the third game. It's one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Tenchu Stealth Assassins. This was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation. Did not get very far in it, but we always loved the training mission and being stealthy ninjas, because that's what you did in the 90s. Tobal number 1. Did Tobal 2 ever happen? The main selling point behind this game, Final Fantasy VII sampler CD included. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, absolutely wonderful game. I enjoyed, I believe, the third one the most, but this was a classic start to the series. Vagrant Story, I hear is a great RPG. I have not had a chance to play it. Vigilante 8, I have not had a chance to play. I was more of a Twisted Metal guy. Wild 9, no chance to play that. Wipeout XL and Wipeout 3 I have not played. I've only played the PlayStation Vita Wipeout so far. Worms Armageddon. My mom actually came home with this game from Toyworks where she worked, and I don't remember what she paid for this, but it was on clearance and my cousin recommended it to her. At first I was just like, what the fluff is this shit? And when I started playing it, I became addicted. It's a wonderful game. Be sure to check it out. PlayStation is probably the most accessible way to play it. The N64 version is expensive as hell, and the Dreamcast is also a little bit more expensive than this, I believe. Xena Warrior Princess, haven't had a chance to play it. X-Men Mutant Academy, haven't had a chance to play it, but I think it looks kind of shitty. I also have an import, Symphony of the Night for Dracula X, or whatever it's called in Japan, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. This is in decent shape. I've been looking for the second one, haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. On to my Longbox games. I'm going to fire through them because I haven't actually played any of them. Or at least, not on PlayStation. Battle Arena Toshinden, Mortal Kombat 3, Primal Rage, Rayman, and Wipeout. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of this collection video. Let me know what collection you'd like to see next. Be sure to check out the show I'm on Team Killfool's channel, TKF, Gaming, Gabbing, and The Bottom Line. Saturday night, you can catch the replay also after that. I'm pretty sure that's how Google Hangouts work, where it's just live afterwards that you can just watch the playback. So, as always, keep it real, Internet.